This extra special episode is brought to you by Grifficus. Grifficus, thank you for being our executive sponsor of this episode, which absolutely would not exist if it were not for you going on Patreon and committing to create it and letting us know what movie we are watching. And the name of that movie will be revealed in a moment.
Totes Recall.
Welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we can't remember very well, eat 2 pizzas and 2 salads, push, pause, come back, watch the movie again. Talking about what we bet about, how it holds up in this day and age. What do we get right and wrong? My name is Dan.
This is Molly.
Dan and I are making intense eye contact. I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie this very special episode is...
What's special about it? Sorry, Beth. Sorry. I should have backed up instead of gone forward, but I got excited.
There are multiple special things about this episode. One, the most special thing, it is an executively produced extra-sode.
Ooh.
Thank you to Grifficus.
Grifficus. Sorry, this is the most fun patron name I think we've ever had. Besides Boodle Horse, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tough competition.
But it's fun to say.
Yeah. That's very special.
So special.
The second special thing about this movie, it is the film which we would have watched had we done a live show in 2020.
Is that true? That was the plan for that
Yes.
year?
That was the plan, and the movie is, of course...
What happened then?
Well, a bunch of worms came out of the ground, and everybody had to stay home.
Interesting.
Because of worms.
Flatten the curve. The worm curve.
Hell yeah.
We beg pots to scare the worms.
Right.
That's why we still do it, so they don't come back.
Yes.
Okay.
Got
The movie
it.
is, of course, Tremors.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
Tremming it up.
Yep.
Trem it up.
And
Drum it up.
listeners, just so you know, Dan did not give up on his dream that we would someday do a live show featuring Tremors until like a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
True.
it was peek behind my curtain. my tremor curtain.
No.
No. Tremor curtain.
No.
Yeah, I still felt a task was undone,
Sure.
and that was hard for me.
Yeah.
The live show of Tremors was undone, and so part of me was like, I don't know if we can do this as an executive produced
It
movie.
was the only thing that the pandemic upended.
yeah,
True.
or at least the most important.
Oh,
thing.
sure,
Absolutely.
sure.
Yeah. I'm sure there was some like mail that didn't get delivered or
Right.
something. But you can't go back.
No.
The only way out is through.
Yes. Through the earth like a giant worm.
Oh, and shout out to listener Nathan, cannot remember your last name, but held on for a full year to pre-purchase tickets
That's
for our
right.
live show.
Yes, thank you very much.
Shout
Yeah, offered a
out.
refund, and he kept the faith. And eventually, we were like,
Hey,
"Let
man.
us please give you your money
Yeah.
back."
Yeah. So now we are free to do whatever we want.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks to the liberating power of the will, the iron will of Grifficus.
Yeah. So this is a gift in more ways than one.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, and I wonder if we have 6 degrees of separation between Grifficus and Kevin Bacon.
I hope so.
I feel like I might have some connecting point to Kevin Bacon.
Okay.
Sure. Go for it.
I've spoken with Oprah
Okay.
before.
He's probably been on Oprah.
I would think over the
I
years,
mean, that's
right?
something. That's pretty good, right?
That's a quick one.
What did you say to Oprah? Hi, Oprah.
No,
Oh.
I wouldn't dare.
You never speak her name to her face.
No.
Hi.
Or make direct eye contact.
Have I not told this story?
I don't
know.
know.
This is too early to be derailing, but here we go.
This is what Grifficus paid for.
Yeah.
An Oprah story right at the top.
We promise we will talk about the movie at some point
Absolutely.
during this
I have
podcast.
plenty to say about this movie.
Oh, do you really? I have nothing. So this will be my contribution to the whole first half. I went to the University of Georgia, which is where the Peabody Awards are decided through the School of Journalism.
I did not know that.
Wow.
And
Tremors won a Peabody?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
And because they allow student judges, I
Okay.
got placed as an alternate as a student judge for PSAs.
What is an
Which is not
alternate
the, like-
to...
Well, basically, they
got
tried
sick.
everybody else, and then they're like, "Oh, Molly Chase is left. Let's make her the student advisor, or like, on this panel." And the professors had already gone through and rated everything, and
Okay.
they had me write it up, which was super sad because I didn't get to watch any of the PSAs.
I see.
And like one of my good friends got to watch like all the documentaries and like weigh in and stuff. And anyways, that was not my experience. So I would have written it off as a sad experience. But then they said, you can pay your own way to New York. And if you can get there, you can go to the Waldorf Astoria and be like, you know, help guide people to their seats and hand out programs and that kind of thing.
I see.
So I got to go to that.
So hold on, just so I understand.
Yes.
The honor you were given was to write up about other people's experiences consuming the things that were being nominated for the award. Then you were given the opportunity to spend money to then expend free labor for them.
It was an incredible opportunity.
Got it. Incredible,
Who would pass it up?
Yeah.
But it turned out to be so great. CBS News was being honored for their journalism.
Okay.
And I grew up on Dan Rather.
Of course.
And their international correspondence. I nearly passed out. I just saw someone who worked at CBS News.
Did you see the Rath Man?
Who?
The Rath Man.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I definitely saw Dan Rather. Okay, so here's what happened.
Oh.
What I wasn't
This is a
prepared-
roller coaster.
I know. So you get to like go get people and stand next to them
Are you
while they
ushing?
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're ushing.
Okay.
You're hanging. You're ushing. You're like a page.
I see.
Like the equivalent of a
Like the people that like walk people off stage at the
yes, but
Academy
not
Awards.
informal. Never actually approach the stage.
Okay.
Like imagine that you had to just go get someone, walk them to the edge of the stage, and hold back.
Did you ever like burst through a curtain and then
No.
your tongue came out and split into multiple parts?
What is
And
that
then-
a reference
sorry,
to? Are you trying to
what?
get us back to Tremors?
Yeah.
Oh.
We haven't even gotten to Oprah yet.
Okay.
God.
They randomly assign you.
We
and-
will talk about the movie.
Are you wearing a
probably
big
will.
headset at this point?
No, I don't
Damn
get
it.
anything cool. There's nothing cool about it except that I got to go tell Dan Rather it was time.
Okay.
And what I was not
Okay.
prepared for is the table is right underneath. So Tom Brokaw is addressing this room of luminaries.
Yes.
Okay.
Dan Rather is like right underneath where Tom Brokaw is talking, and directly across from him is Oprah Winfrey.
Same
And
table?
I had same table,
Got it.
and I go up to my hero Dan Rather that I've grown up with, and have been obsessed with my
Push
whole
Oprah
life.
out of the way?
Yeah.
No, and I'm trying to tell him it's his turn is up, and so I crouch down next to him and I speak in some kind of like dog whistle level volume
Yep.
to say it's your turn, and he's like, "What?" He was like just trying to hear me.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, like he was probably also a little hard of hearing, and this voice was booming behind.
Yeah.
And I kept
The
trying
sultry
to
tones of Tom
like
Brokaw.
get it out, and then finally Oprah saw what was happening, and she was like, Dan, you're on. She's trying to tell you you're on. And then she
Nice.
kind of gave me a nice little nod and a smile.
Okay.
And
Nice.
it was so nice.
So it could be
Wow.
said.
Dan Rather loaded up his elephant gun
What?
of speech and blasted it out at the.
Are you trying to
Yes, he
connect this with Tremors?
Yeah.
But real quickly, let's have this on record that I think it's.
Griffithus just wanted stories about the Peabody
and it
Awards
is-
in the 90s.
I think it's fair to say that you are allowed to say, I worked with
Oh.
Oprah Winfrey.
That's
Yes.
right. They were a
Because you
team.
worked together on a task.
That's true.
To get Dan Rather to get out of his chair.
Who probably at one point has spoken with Kevin Bacon, who's
For
in
sure.
this movie Tremors.
Tremors.
Yes.
So
There you
Molly
go.
is like 3 to 4 degrees.
Yeah, we don't know, but for
Yeah.
sure, but got to be somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I bet the Rathman and or Oprah have both spoken to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Or to somebody who has. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah,
Right?
definitely someone who has.
Sure.
Kira Sedgwick, come on, someone.
Cedric seems like the kind of person that'd be on Oprah for something.
Yeah, but also he came to the, there used to be an event called Bacon Fest in
I
Atlanta.
thought you were talking about Dan Rather.
No,
I was like,
no,
Dan
but
Rather
Kevin-
came to Bacon Fest?
Kevin Bacon was in town because Kira Sedgwick was starring in a TNT show from Turner
I
Broadcasting.
know
No
what
big
TNT
deal.
is.
And he showed up at
Okay.
Bacon
Kevin
Fest.
Bacon ever go to Bacon Fest to promote any movies that he did in like the late 80s?
Oh, like
Featuring
Flatline?
Early 90s,
Giant
maybe.
Worms.
Oh, Alien? Was he in
Bursting.
that one?
Okay. Dan, do you want to
Through
talk
the
about
cracks.
Tremors?
I just feel like we should.
All right, fine.
Go ahead.
I don't know anything about it.
If we want to talk for like 10 more seconds, we'll be 9 minutes into
No way. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Well, I could talk adjacent to Tremors.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it. I've
Okay,
seen-
9 minutes.
and it lived for a long time in my life experience as the first R-rated movie I thought I watched.
Okay.
But it is not an R-rated movie. I looked at later when I was trying to confirm that fact in conversation. I believe it's
PG 13.
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
But I thought it was also like it was shown to my brother and I by a babysitter.
Okay.
And so it was kind of in the story of like we got away with something.
Cool
right?
babysitter.
Cool babysitter brought over a VHS tape of Tremors and showed it to us, and we thought it was rad.
Nice.
I mean, that's still true, but I also thought it was R-rated.
Sure.
Do you know about what year would you imagine that was?
Probably like, let's see, a babysitter at my dad's house, Molly.
Okay.
Extrapolate what you may from that.
So I am going to go early 90s given that, because I turned 8 in 90 and that feels young to watch Tremors. So I'm going to say this is a 91 movie and I saw it in 92.
Yeah, I hadn't considered.
No way to confirm that second part.
I hadn't considered that I saw this movie on VHS tape, but then that meant that I had no actual context for when the movie had been released, because it was just like a movie we watched, but like I only knew it as a movie we watched in our house.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single trailer for it, so I suspect I was in college.
Yeah, you were too busy. We've
I was
talked about
way
this.
too busy, yeah.
Smoking
I'm gonna
jazz
guess
cigarettes.
93.
Popping wheelies on your hog.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll guess 90.
I'm going to say
Ooh.
89.
Nice.
Thank you.
I think I've seen part of this movie
Okay.
on TV. I feel like this is a TV, like a sci-fi channel movie
Oh, yeah.
that was
For
maybe
sure.
on. I saw like the second half of it. And there's that one guy that's in it. It's not Kevin Bacon, but that other guy.
Oh, there's probably a lot of guys. I know who you're talking
There's
about.
a lot of guys in this
He
movie.
kind of looks like that other guy now.
Yeah.
John Bernthal?
Yes.
Yes. Here's
What?
okay.
Wow.
Peek behind my curtain. I was just listening to an old podcast with him on it, and they were talking about how he reminded them of this guy from Tremors, whose name I've already forgotten. But then I looked up that guy. I'm like, oh yeah, they do have a very similar vibe.
They're like tough and kind of square, like
Yeah.
kind of a square head.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to look up who that is because I don't know.
The second guy,
John Bernthal?
the newer guy.
Yeah.
I'm writing
He was
down
like-
Square Tufts.
He was on the Zombie Show.
Yeah, he's the Punisher in some version. I
Yeah,
think.
that
Yeah.
guy's in this movie, isn't he?
No, that's what we're saying. It's another
What?
guy.
Yeah.
John Bernthal is too young to have been that guy in
I'm
this
sorry,
movie.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, my mind is blown.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, we'll find out who it is.
I mean, I guess respect to John Bernthal that Beth thought he looked that good at this age
Sure.
for having been in the movie in 90 whatever.
Yep.
What are there any women? Is this like a Laura
Yes.
Dern
I
situation?
am fairly confident Reba McEntire's in this movie.
Oh,
Wow.
that sounds right.
There is.
She rules.
So I think the overall premise of the movie is this small dusty town has giant worms
Hell yeah.
attack them out of the ground,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
basically dune worms but smaller.
Yeah.
And they got to fight them. I don't know if there's any more plot than that.
Is it like a new thing? Like all of a
Yeah.
sudden
It's
there
like
are
a
these worms?
surprise.
Is
Yeah.
Reba
Surprise worms.
McEntire part of a family that are like survivalists with a whole bunch of weapons?
That sounds right. Yes.
There is a couple that is that. That's the elephant gun I
I think
referenced
I
earlier.
have seen this.
Nice.
Then.
And I remember thinking like, sweet, elephant gun. That's a thing. Look how big those bullets are.
Yeah.
And now later I'm like, oh, bummer. People are killing elephants.
Okay, so the scene that I'm picturing is they're like on cars
Yep.
driving through the desert. Is that something?
There's definitely scenes where they're on things in the desert.
Okay.
Because they have to not be on the ground.
Yeah, because for some reason the worms can't get them if they're on things.
Well, because the worms, this may shock you, but the reason the movie's called Tremors is because the worms only feel vibrations.
Okay.
And that's how they know where people are.
So they're feeling the tremors. It's not that you like feel tremors because the worm is approaching.
It might be both.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be kind of a,
God, they're really ripping off Dune, huh? With these
Yeah.
worms.
I guess, but like in Dune, it's like they're giant gods to the culture who are also producing the most important substance in the universe. And
Fair
these
enough,
are just
fair
like big worms that eat stuff.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
guess
it.
it's just two things. They're worms and they feel vibrations.
Yeah.
Is this like Southwest?
I think so.
Yeah, like Oklahoma. I'm best.
Ooh.
Ooh, good
bet
bet.
Oklahoma.
It's a great bet.
And then you kind of alluded to this earlier, but they have like 3 jaws or something, right? Is that what's
Something like
happening?
that.
Yeah, I mean, it was spoiled today by a GIF I saw.
Wow.
But yeah, their head opens in like a 3-pronged face.
Now
and then
that,
a bunch of weird
I
tongues come
wonder-
out. Kind of,
Yeah.
it's got the Thing vibes
Yeah.
in terms of the monster, like flappy tentacles and stuff.
Do you think the three-way mouth was like because they acknowledged that it was a lot like Dune, so they just were like, fuck it, that's just what giant worms under the ground look like?
Yeah,
because like Lynch's Dune had already happened, and Lynch's Dune's worms had three.
Do you think if they made popcorn containers? Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, not as fuckable as the new Dune popcorn containers. Though.
Look those up, I guess.
My memory of this movie.
Sorry, I don't know what anyone is talking about.
My memory of this movie is like I've now really been so tied to VHS tapes because I saw this movie multiple times as a kid, which means we must, and I don't think we ever owned it, so we must have rented it from Video Universe, local reference. Yeah. R.I.P. I think finally.
Probably.
They held on for a long time. But I distinctly remember they had the like Tremors, stand-in like cardboard thingy that you put in a theater, right? And it was like, a little motorized, so the worm would go like, and like
that sounds right.
It was sick. That was honestly probably why we rented it, because my brother and sister were like, that looks so cool. My dad was like, yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, we watched this movie a lot.
Oh, wow.
I'm realizing. Because we were, there were certain lines in this movie that like my siblings and I would like quote.
Okay, I'm excited for that.
I would like what are some quotable lines?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't make any sense.
Great.
And they're all just like exclamations, I think. Like I'm pretty sure Reba's in this movie because I feel like a lot of times my sister would just shout Bert because she would always shout at her goofy survivalist husband, which is why I'm pretty confident that she's going to kick ass in this movie and just be a sassy broad.
So I'm starting to think that I have seen this, if not on VHS, then on TV. And I can absolutely picture my dad sitting on the edge of the coffee table watching it.
Nice.
Which means my mom was not around.
No sitting on the coffee table allowed?
It was just frowned upon.
Just not the vibe.
Okay.
It's just not the vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, because I kind of always wondered if it was like that thing about getting too close to the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a grown person. I can get as close to the TV as I want.
Yeah.
Nice.
Unless there's a witness.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do we think, because I'm pretty sure because of how movies work, that at least Kevin Bacon, if not Kevin Bacon and other guy, are like new in town, right? Because they need an excuse to tell us who all these people in the town are.
Is Kevin Bacon wanting to dance, but it's prohibited by county law?
And then when he dances, the worms come
and bite his leg off.
That's why it's prohibited. It causes tremors.
Yeah, exactly. John Lithgow. Is that the right movie reference?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
John Lithgow is like, no, you'll awaken the worms.
In your pants.
But like, why do we think, sorry, what?
Wait,
or one of them
I don't want to
called-
move that past Molly's talking about worms in pants. I don't want to.
Wait, what?
We can go back.
The worms are in pants?
I was
Like
the worms are in your pants?
No, John Lithgow is a preacher
Yes.
concerned about his daughter dating footloose Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
But
And
he also
so
wants to be
when
the
you
Pope.
said something about watch out for the worms, I said in your pants.
Oh, yeah.
It was great.
It was
I'm really
worth
glad I
It was
got a
definitely
chance to
worth it.
explain that.
Thank you for going back to that.
Griffiths is getting their money's worth.
Definitely
for sure.
worth interrupting Beth.
Beth.
So, do you think Kevin Bacon is like a professional worm catcher in other capacities?
Oh, wow.
The town calls
like
him
He's
in?
like one of
He's like
those. You know about those competition where people get worms to come out of the ground? Have you heard of this?
No.
Is this a real thing?
Yeah.
What?
They they tap on the ground in a certain way and try to
Tremors.
get worms to come out of the ground.
What?
And it's like a weird folksy
How do you win?
country competition.
The most worms? Wow.
Yeah.
Is
That's
it like so
awesome.
you can just fish more easily?
I would think so.
That's the real
like-
applicable skill.
Yeah.
Or you collect them for like composting or
I
something?
guess. Oh, I feel so itchy already. Maybe we should watch
No,
something
these are
else.
big worms. It's
Yeah,
fine.
These are big.
They're big.
They're like their heads are like van sized.
Oh, okay. Sure. That's reasonable.
Is that true?
Maybe smaller than that. I can envision one busting through the basement,
For sure.
and it's a small car.
Oh, it can like get into a house.
I think
Yeah.
I don't think they're, I'm trying to remember. Like, I feel like there's definitely a scene where they eat something, but I don't remember if it was a full size car or not. You know what I mean?
I'm picturing a car being eaten.
Nice. I
That
love
is
it.
something that I feel like is sticking in my
yeah,
head.
yeah. I think they could eat like a rabbit,
Nice.
like the car rabbit,
Yeah. But also a regular
or a
rabbit.
Dodge Dart,
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Geo Metro, small car.
Oh.
There is definitely a second woman in this because
Oh.
Kevin Bacon has to have a sex object to have a relationship with.
All that worm talk.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does she get to talk to Reba?
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
It's a small enough town where I feel like odds have to be good,
At some
right?
point, they end up at the survivalist.
They got to be all trapped
compound.
together, yeah.
All trapped
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
right?
So there's got to be at least a 50-50
or on
chance.
the roof of the
Yeah.
convenience store or whatever, the
Something.
general store.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes for optimism.
Okay.
Yes, in passing the back to Wallace, that's what we're talking about. Grifficus, you know this, of course, because you're a super fan. But
Grifficus.
for others, for dummies,
Yeah.
Well, not dummies. Some people
Idiots.
aren't aware that Bechdel
ignoramuses.
Misogynists.
created a comic based on Wallace's observation that few movies could pass the test of two named characters who were women, or at least not men, speaking to each other about something that's not a man.
Yes.
And it's incredibly difficult to pass.
Yes.
Well, it's incredibly simple to pass.
right.
Oh, right. There you go. It's the pass rate is incredibly low.
It's difficult to find
Yes,
a passing.
there you go.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to pass, Beth?
No,
Okay.
I don't think it will. But I did realize that this movie in my head is similar to, or it's not similar to, but it's connected to The Fog. Is that the Stephen? So now
Or
I'm
is that
wondering.
the mist. I always
The
get
Mist.
the fog and the mist
No.
mixed up.
No, I can't remember. But I'm wondering if Tremors
Mist
was
is-
on and I watched that and then The Mist.
Oh, no. That is a very different vibe.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? The Mist?
I think it's The
Fog.
Mist.
Okay.
And if
Anyway.
we're talking about the Stephen King one, I think it's The Mist.
Or they're all trapped in a store.
Yeah, they're like in a store
And
together.
there's like tentacles or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember tentacles. I just remember.
And then like a little monster that comes out of the mist. Like,
Maybe.
Probably.
isn't that the whole point?
I probably watched the beginning of that and the end of Tremors.
Nice.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It's a
So,
missed connection.
yeah.
Ah.
Whoa.
Oh, we're high-fiving too hard. Did
Forget
Almost
about
took
it.
the microphone out.
you just say forget about it?
I did. High fives are still coming.
No,
the mic's getting
stolen
wild.
valor.
The table's falling over. The tremors.
Awful. Ooh, Dan's bet. There's going to be a joke where both Kevin Bacon and the love interest check out the other one's ass in jeans.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is tight jean era.
Hell yeah, it is.
We're going to see some
So
buns.
tight jeans,
Yeah.
cowboy boots,
Ooh,
Yeah, I think
someone,
so.
at least one pair.
and a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe.
There's got to be at least one,
Someone's
right?
got-
I mean,
I'm going to say
the
two
sun is-
cowboy hats.
Okay.
I'm going to go
Oh.
baseball cap myself.
Sure.
Okay. That's also, I mean, I'm
a
just
fun bet.
imagining the sun is hot.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
and you need to block your face
Yep.
Yeah.
so you can see
You
in order to shoot a tremor worm.
totally.
Yeah.
What did you call them? Graboids?
Graboids. That is a line from the movie where I think they're trying to decide what to call them.
Oh,
And I believe one of the characters just goes, Graboids! And it's great.
May I tell you the cutest thing that I've ever heard made up by a child?
Yes. Is it your
Instead of
child?
Tongs, no, sadly. But it's my nephew, so
Okay.
I'll claim it.
Okay.
It's instead of tongs, he called them grab nabbers.
Oh,
Oh, that's good.
that's good.
And I have never been able to call them anything else since
That's really
then.
good.
It is
I've
good.
never heard you say grab nabbers, and we use tongs every
Yeah, and you
record.
had strong opinions about Beth's tong selection.
And we always called tiny tongs.
And you've never
Oh,
said,
that's true.
you never said, Beth, where's your small grab nabber?
Well, I didn't think she'd know what I was talking about, but now
Well,
she does.
now she does.
Yeah, now I understand.
And it's very important to have smaller tongs to be able to handle salad in plastic containers.
Sure.
You know
Beth,
what?
break out the grab nabbers.
Honestly, I resisted for a while
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
those small tongs,
Yeah.
but I use them all the time.
Nice.
Yes, they're so
They're
good,
great.
They're
right?
great. Yeah.
We are building bridges on this podcast. I think. Ooh, this could be a real swing and a miss. I'm pretty sure Pat Morita's in this movie.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure, but I could be imagining some other guy who's around the same age, and I'll be really disappointed if I'm wrong.
I wrote it down.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited.
Yep.
But okay, so then there's definitely the guy that looks like this other guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he
He's Kevin Bacon's
He's like
friend.
Bacon's bacon buddy.
He's a bacon bro.
He's a bacon bro.
okay? So are they like a team?
That's what I'm trying to remember.
They're like, I bet they're passing through town.
That's the thing. It's like I'm trying to remember if they came there because they're there to do a job or if they just happened to stop in
For a
town.
job out west.
Right.
Okay.
But they for sure have to be. At least one of them has to have never been there before, so they can introduce all the other characters.
Yeah. I think it's a good bet.
And they're like, you're not going to be able to leave the town because of the worms, or they're like,
Ooh.
Yeah.
we think we can take on these.
I
worms.
bet they try to leave, and then they're like, "Oh shit, a giant worm."
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I saw.
Maybe.
Them in the car.
Ooh, maybe.
That's all I can picture.
Ooh, there's at least a child in this movie.
Oh.
I don't know what age that child is.
12.
Love it. That's a
Seems like
solid bet.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Precocious.
there has to be someone who's in danger.
Oh, I hope it's a lady child.
Okay. So they talk to Reba
Yes.
or whoever?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I was like, at first I was like, oh, because you want to see lady child in danger more.
No. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But maybe
Ooh.
she ends up being like pretty tough.
Ooh, yeah.
She takes on a
Ooh.
worm
I
herself.
hope so. That would rule.
It'd
That
be
would
cool
rule.
if someone punches a worm.
That'd be awesome. Ooh, speaking of, though, now that I'm thinking about like Molly, there is a non-zero chance for some animal danger in this movie.
Like real animals or worms?
Like real animals, because
Like
like
dogs?
for
I
raising
can
the stakes.
For sure see a dog.
Right? Because you got to raise the stakes for like how dangerous these worms are. So it's like there's got to be like a dog or a goat or something, right? That's on the
Yeah.
ground.
Cattle.
Maybe like cattle.
Cattle.
Oh, you don't care about cattle.
No,
Wow.
I do, but they're kind of doomed anyway.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that what you said when a
Norman?
cowpoke put a handgun into Norman's mouth?
That was explicit and unnecessary.
Yeah. Graboid's got to eat.
Grab what's got to eat. Hey, circle of life.
That's right.
How do they end up beating the worms?
Oh, yeah. Probably like a bunch of explosives.
I'm assuming they do.
Ooh, yeah. I bet there's at least one. I bet there's like kind of a Jaws reference where they like shove something into its mouth.
Okay. Now this makes me wonder, how many worms are there?
There's at least 2.
There's just 2 worms?
I don't know.
Oh, it's not an
Oh,
infestation?
I thought it was like a ton of worms.
They're big. Like they don't need to be that many because they're
Do
fucking
they run
big.
into each other at the end and kill each other?
Oh, wow.
Or do they just do a rocket launcher
Ooh, I know.
into their
I remember.
mouths?
I remember how one of them dies, but I don't want to ruin it if you don't
Okay.
remember it.
Oh,
'cause
I don't
it's
remember.
I feel like there's going to be a cool explosion.
Nice. They've got to put an explosive in at least one of their mouths for
Yeah.
sure.
That too.
I was thinking like maybe they're like, salt.
Oh,
shrivel 'em
Does
up.
that work on
yeah.
worms? I know it works on slugs.
Slugs, yeah.
Poor slugs.
These are more worms than slugs.
And they're more like, they're like dune worms. So they're like armored and
Yeah.
because they have to be able to
Oh.
dig. Because they have to be able to dig through all of the earth.
Yeah, but maybe salt works. I don't
Maybe,
know.
Is there like a scientist who knows about the worms?
dude. I don't know. It's a small town.
Wow,
maybe.
science set town.
Maybe there is a scientist and they die first,
Oh.
right? Because now they're like, oh no, the person who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Our local soil scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless that's Kevin Bacon
Oh, maybe
We
he's
don't
going
know.
to a
He's a
university job
or something
at Irvine.
in those tight jeans.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Well, Molly, how should we rate this tremendous movie?
Oh.
Tremendous.
Tremendous. Griffithus.
Did I ask too early?
No, it's
You
okay.
wanna talk
I
about
just
Oprah
don't
more?
I just don't love my choices.
You know you can make something up on the spot, right? You don't have to look down at your notes and
Yeah.
create
And
something.
it's peek behind our Tremor curtain. It's kind of the three of us' jobs to make it good.
That what?
Like you get us started and then we make it good.
Oh my God.
Which, to be fair, I have said before, you could just tell us what it is.
Like that's the game, right? Like you give us something and it can be good, but like as a team, that's how teamwork works.
You're
Yeah.
truly hurting Molly's feelings right
We make it really good.
We improve upon
improve it.
what is already
We
glorious.
put the hat on the hat.
Yes.
now. Molly makes
We
the
gild
initial
Olivia.
declaration and we yes and it until
Yeah.
it's really good.
Strong,
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
trying to make.
strong declaration.
no matter how dumb your ideas are, I say yes also.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's teamwork.
All right.
We're a
Tough
team.
love.
We're like Kevin Bacon and the other guy.
Is that a reference to my text
Yes.
from before the recording started?
No.
Is it a reference to Dan making you feel bad while
Yes.
trying to compliment you?
Yes.
Is you think that's really what Griffithus would want for the rating system?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fine. Square tufts.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
Square Tufts.
Square tufts.
Is that like TUFFS?
Should we like going forward just try to work in the executive producer's name into the rating system?
That's up to you.
That's up to you.
Yeah.
Well, not this time.
Okay.
I can't think of
They
anything.
could be a square tough.
Yeah.
Griffith-
it certainly
Griffith-
sounds like a
Griffith
square
Griffith
tough.
tough.
Griffithus. Maybe Griffithus digivolves into square tough.
Griffithophagus.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Griffithophagus.
Griffithophagus.
How many Griffithophagus?
Griffithophagus.
Griffithophagus.
I love it.
Is that the new one?
Yes.
Square Tufts is out as well.
Yeah.
Griffithophagus is a square tough.
Yeah, for sure.
Griffithophagus the square tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the legend of Griffithophagus, the
Griffithophagus.
square tough.
The square tough. Yeah.
Like legend speaks of a square tough named Griffithophagus.
I'm assuming Griffitophagus is related to Snuffleupagus.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Are they like the mean one?
Badass cousin who's like...
It's just the one that doesn't take any
Wears a
guts.
leather jacket. Always has a pack of cigarettes wrapped up in their sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, their little snout just reaches up and takes a cig out.
Can other people see
Great question.
Griffitophagus?
Oh,
Only when they've
Griffitophagus.
had a few.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
When Big Bird's been, hitting it.
Yeah. When Big Bird's in his cups, he maybe sees Griffitophagus. And he's like, hey, Big Bird, go knock over Oscar's garbage can. This is going to be awesome. Hey, Big Bird, go knock on the second floor window of Bert and Ernie's place and freak them out while they're sleeping. I love this.
And he's square-shaped?
He's a square tough.
He's a square tough, yeah. Kind of like that Looney Tunes red fuzzy monster.
Yeah, it's sort of like, think about Snuffleupagus, but like because Griffitophagus is like been on the inside and is tougher and jacked.
Yeah.
He kind of has more of a cubic shape.
Got it.
Because he's like so broad, right?
Yeah.
So it's like his shoulders are really like just jutting out.
But he loves his cousin. They love each other.
No, they have a great relationship.
Oh, yeah, family first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But also Snuffy's just like, he's trying.
Yeah.
He's had a rough life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, he had a bad hand dealt him. You know?
And then like Big Bird learns a lesson at the end where Snuffy's like, you don't have to do everything he tells you to do just because he's cool.
Yeah. I mean, he got picked up on bullshit charges, right?
For sure.
Tried to meet
Trumped
quotas, and now it's like,
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
I mean, he had one joint in his snout.
Right. Yeah.
Come on.
Just because he's a square tough,
Hell yeah. I love this.
Dan, how many Griffitophagus is the square toughest Tophaguses? Griffitophagus the square toughs do you give?
Ooh.
Tremors, the movie.
Okay. This is another movie that I feel like it was Hackers that I last declared this. I think this movie is going to be a bad movie that rules, but I think in a very different way than Hackers. Like it has a very different vibe. It's not trying to be cool. It's just like, here's a goof that is very much of its time. I'm hoping that it will actually be a secret good movie that just rules on its own merits. So I'm going to give it an optimistic 4 Griffitophagus, the Square Toughs.
Great.
Which is 4 times that he appears to Big Bird and tells him to do something naughty on the mean streets of Sesame.
Right. Awesome. Thank you. Beth, you're up.
Yes. I feel like I don't really remember anything from this movie, and it was on Sci-Fi in the middle of the day probably. So
probably.
I'm going to say 2.5.
Wow.
This is just a prediction.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's going to be great.
Maybe. I am next, as we all know. I'm going to go all the way to 5. I am feeling very optimistic that this will be all the things Dan said, and it will rule on its own, but also be like bad in a fun way. And it'll hit right at nostalgia for me of like, I remember a couple things, but I'm also surprised by most of it because it's been so long.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. 5. Griffitophagus, the Square Toughs.
You did it.
Yay.
Molly for the finale.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry I spoke down to your rating scales. I was trying to be supportive.
I appreciate it. I'm sorry I got so defensive.
That's all right.
This friendship.
This is finally happening. That's the whole reason we started this podcast. Beth and I were like, Dan and Molly have really got to come together. Like, this is getting really
and
uncomfortable.
I was like, I have an idea. Let's do a podcast for 11 years.
Yes. That's about as long as I predict it'll be about 10, 11 years for it to take. And then their relationship will blossom.
Yeah. They just really have to get to know each other.
Exactly.
That's right.
To understand each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beth and I play what you call the long game.
Yes.
3D chess over here.
Yeah. So look forward to Beth and I's new podcast with 2 other people that don't get along next month.
Okay, so normally I would give this a cowardly 3 because I'm not sure what to think, but Reba McEntire gets a whole half.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Just for herself. So I'm going to do 3.5
nothing for
Griffitophagus.
Oh, wow. Wow, nothing for
Griffitophagus.
Oh.
That's what I know.
No, it's fine. You live your truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Listen.
You know what? Griffitophagus. I have
Griffitophagus.
room to grow. Room to Groffagus.
Griffitophagus.
Anyway, that's how many square toughs. 3.5.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Great.
Got it.
And with that, we're going to press pause, go watch Tremors, and we'll be right back. Hey, listeners, this is Molly, the host you were just listening to, probably over-explain something. And now I'm going to...
You literally just tell people that we're going to stop the show for a second. How is that over-explaining?
Oh, well, no, but before then, there's
right before that.
There's going to be some random detail.
I see.
And I'm going to start to feel less and less secure that people are following along.
Got it.
And then I'll just go into a lot of detail, although maybe Beth will edit that out.
Yeah, you don't know. You're really digging your own grave here.
Hey, listeners, this is the mid-roll.
Okay.
Molly coming at you to let you know that this is a very special episode because Griffigus made it happen. They went to patreon.com/totesrecall.com. Nope, there's not a second .com.
You're over-explaining.
Okay. Yeah. And you can find out how you can become an executive producer and you can choose an episode, and all of the funds that we get help sustain this podcast. We joke it's 2 pizzas and 2 salads, which actually is true. We definitely...
Yeah, that's not a joke.
No, well, you know what I'm saying. But like people are like, how much can 2 pizzas and 2 salads cost?
Sure. Hey, in this economy, am I right?
Yeah,
what
right?
way is the cheese embargo?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Cow flu.
What? Are you trying to make an egg thing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's under-explain that one.
Wow.
So anyway, we do that, but also we need to pay Beth Gibbs of Lyft Podcasting for her editing, and we have other costs associated with just creating this incredibly fun content.
Fun costs money in America.
You can't spell funds without fun.
Whoa! Nice.
And with that, we're back to our episode. And we're back. We just watched 96 minutes of Dust and Michael J. Fox's dad and
not his biological
father,
Michael
Gross.
P. Keaton's dad.
Michael P. Keaton's dad.
Oh, it was like Crispin Glover, wasn't it?
Wait a minute. Do you think that's his real thing?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I watched a documentary about it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Oh, got it. Anyway, it was very dusty. It's a fun movie.
And slimy.
Oh, so slimy.
Oh.
It's like mostly pumpkin guts.
Yeah.
We think.
Everywhere.
That was our theory.
It's
Definitely
like,
one of them.
It's so
was
orange.
Pumpkin puree.
Yeah, our theory was like pumpkin puree and like, I don't know, maybe there's like some kind of tomato bisque in there or something.
Yeah, I mean, what are the graboid mouths busts a can of tomato, and I was like, it looks like the same consistency.
Nice.
Yeah.
My favorite moment was when Beth screamed, or didn't scream. Beth went, "I'm eating pizza."
Yeah, it was it looked a little pizza. Well, it wasn't even the graboid. That was just at the beginning. There were so many just like bloody hats.
Yes.
Yeah, bloody headgear and sheep guts.
Yeah. It was gross.
Something that is not gross.
Ooh.
Okay.
Something that is gross?
What? Something that is a gross weight of gold.
I was kind of trying to get to that.
Can I tell you that as we were kept going, I was like, wow, we're really going deep on this goo. I was on the edge of my seat, seeing like, how's Dan going to pull this in?
Yeah, and I did.
Does he have any good ideas?
Whoa!
Oh, one good idea is to do the 60-second summary right now.
Yeah, we definitely landed that plane.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why we get all the awards.
As a team.
The gross weight of the awards is high. Right? The gross weight of the awards is high?
I guess.
Anyway.
Because don't we get them shipped like 7 to 10 at a time?
So many.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
I
I
just
forgot
have
we get them in
boxes
batches
of
now.
unopened ones.
We know what's in there. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. It's after a while, the shine kind of comes off. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Right.
oh, it's another box.
Just
of
don't drop
awards.
them on the ground. They'll make tremors.
That's right.
60-second summary in which we summarize the movie we just watched, Tremors, in exactly 60 seconds. The tradition in this part of Nevada,
Ooh, yes. Mm-hmm.
not
Minnesota.
Oklahoma, is I do it.
Uh-huh.
I didn't do it last time, but I think I did it
like
2 times ago.
I think it's been a recent thing.
And it's not the tradition that you do, it's that you offered it.
That's right. I volunteered to do it.
Yes.
I can do it. I don't think I've done it in a while.
You haven't done it in a
that's
while.
true. It's been a while.
Ooh, do you want me to time?
Nope.
I can time.
No, I don't. I
I've
don't.
got it.
Dan?
I've got it right
Dan?
here. I've got it. I'm ready to go.
Open stopwatch.
Oh my God.
And
I got it open. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
We open on Dust. It's dirty. Kevin Bacon is wake. And he's waking up his buddy Earl. They are handymen / journeymen who work for petty cash around this small town of perfection. They keep talking about getting out of perfection. They meet all the weirdos. They finally actually get away, but then they get distracted by a dead man on a radio tower or something.
30 seconds.
Pull back the guy. They come back and they're like, oh, he's dehydrated. That's weird. And they're like, well, we'll go something else. Another reason they're going to leave. This time they find a hat on the ground and the lambs are dead. And the hat has a head in it. And then they find out, oh no, there's big snaky worms everywhere. And then they find the worms only can feel tremors
10
because
seconds.
they get to know a sexy scientist who's not as sexy as Kevin Bacon wants. But then they learn about guns. Second Amendment saves the day. And Kevin Bacon runs and they kill the worms.
Time.
Stampede.
I got distracted by all the dust.
It's a lot of dust.
It was a
And
lot.
tight jeans,
Well, there's
which existed.
I think I got really in the weeds on because the dynamic between those two is delightful.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
they're bros.
Fred Ward,
Yes.
right? Is
Yes.
our
Those two.
Bernthal Prime.
That
Yeah.
guy that you said earlier, John
Bernthal.
Bernthal.
Did
and
you confirm?
Yes. They look so
It's
similar. It is eerie. So I totally thought that was the same guy.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
yeah, and they got similar vibes too.
Totally.
They're like gruff.
They both carry themselves as square toughs.
yeah,
But
square
it
toes.
also doesn't make any sense because, like you said, they are
Yeah.
very different ages.
Yes.
And I think that Fred Ward has passed
I
on.
think he just passed.
Yeah.
He
Rip.
has. May I tell you a little bit about his past? Because I find this
Fred Ward?
absolutely fascinating.
Absolutely.
Fred Ward, born Freddie Joe Ward.
Okay.
Was born in 1942. His father was an alcoholic criminal who was repeatedly imprisoned, and his mother left him when Fred was 3. He was then raised by his grandmother until his mother had rebuilt her life and remarried a carnival worker.
Whoa.
Before acting, Ward spent 3 years in the U.S. Air Force. He was also a boxer, broke his nose 3 times, and worked as a lumberjack in Alaska, a janitor, and a short order cook. Then he eventually studied acting at New York's Herbert Bergdorf Studio after serving in the Air Force. And he studied clowning or miming. No, he studied miming. And while living in Rome, he dubbed Italian movies into English and appeared in films by neo-realist director Roberto Rossellini.
This guy rules.
Whoa.
Yeah.
wow.
So it's just
then he was
like
in Tremors.
And then
Hell yeah, it was.
but incredibly because at first I read his career and
Yeah.
if you just start there, he's he went to acting school. But if you start further back, it is fascinating.
That rocks.
Wow.
So anyway,
What a cool dude.
very
Cool dude. I agree. Great dynamic between Earl. No, Bert.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Earl and Valentine
Valentine.
McKay.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon's character.
Earl Brognan, Brossard or something like that. Doesn't matter.
Oh, Bassett.
Bassett. Earl Bassett.
Because he yells at Mr. Bassett, and I was
that's
really
right.
hoping it was a Basset hound.
Oh, that'd be
But it was a
That
person.
would be good.
But yeah, I like that they have this dynamic of where you're not clear. At first I just assumed they were brothers before you learned their names, right?
Yeah.
Or both of their names. But yeah, they just have this great dynamic where he's sort of like his older brother, just the way he treats Kevin Bacon, but then they clearly are just buds.
I'm pretty sure that he always does scissors. Whenever they played rock, scissors, paper, he always
Earl?
did. Earl always did scissors,
Mm.
and
I
yet
don't
he
know
almost
about
always
that.
won.
Oh, check the tapes.
I feel like I saw a rock paper combo happen at some point.
Well, the first two definitely scissors.
Do you think do you think there was a point where they had to be wait, I already forgot his name. The real guy, Fred.
Fred Ward.
Fred, you keep playing scissors. You got to try something else.
Yeah, it's fun. They establish a shared history well with the little rituals that they already have, right? Doing rock, paper, scissors to decide to do who's going to do the shitty job. But then it pans out well where they show what good bros they are when Bert wins rock, paper, scissors to go.
No, Bert is the survivalist.
Oh, Earl.
You mean Earl?
I know.
Bert and Earl.
Earl and Valentine.
Earl and Val.
Okay.
Earl and Val.
Earl wins the rock, paper, scissors to go be bait for the worms, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then Val elbows him in the stomach and steals the glory
And
job.
falls off the side of a
And then
building.
tries to look cool jumping off and on and eats shit.
Let's take a moment to like really just sit in the joy of Kevin Bacon's performance, where he is like, he's just like, he's like this hothead. Like, he's not like a dick most of the time, but he's just like, he's trying so hard to be cool.
Yeah.
But he's clearly just like, I don't know. I feel like we'll talk about this in detail, I'm sure, but he feels like maybe like he was a Melvin. And then because he got under the wing of Earl, he became like what he is now.
Melvin's
but like that's still
team.
in there, you know what I mean? Like that shitty, like I'm just like I'm just trying so hard and I have so many emotions, but I don't know how to express them.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time he tries to be cool, he fucks it up and it rules.
Just because you said it under Dan. Melvin is the teenager that's in the town, and he sucks. He sucks so bad.
We all hate him and want him to die.
And it's appropriate. Like the movie tells you, like, yeah, Melvin sucks. Because like multiple times Earl is like, someday someone's gonna kick that kid's ass.
Yeah.
He's just like he just tweaks everybody. He finds a way to be unnerving in a way that's also very dangerous for himself and for others.
Especially himself.
And even when he himself is like in life-threatening danger, you're a little bit like, serves you right.
Come on, dude. Yeah.
I thought it was funny. So the two activities that they're having the kids do, there's also a younger girl, Mindy, and she's on a pogo stick.
Yes. Chekhov's pogo stick.
Yes.
And he's bouncing a basketball. He knows better. She
should know better.
Yeah, right? I just think I love the idea of the writer being like, what are some vibrating activities?
That was clearly like they definitely had a session where they just did that. They like brainstormed like, what are things that vibrate,
that shake,
and make noise?
Our bullet cleaner,
because it's like it's constant. Like as soon as you clock the premise of the movie, like every scene, it's like there's something. It's like, oh, there's a generator. Oh, there's like the old Pepsi cooler in Walter's store is like the whatever. It's compressors freaking out. Like there's always something in every scene that potentially attracts the graboid worms.
And I thought this movie did a great job of on across the board, but none of those felt too manufactured and made up. Like pogo stick is kind of funny, but also,
of course,
kids have pogo sticks.
Well, especially when they live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, what else is she gonna do?
Like that one's a little weird, but there were no ones where I was like, okay, it's just a thing that vibrates.
Right. Yeah, like there was no point where anyone's like, oh, I gotta flatten out my patio I just installed.
Yeah, they all felt earned enough for a monster movie.
And we also have to thank Mindy for helping this movie pass the Bechdel-Wallace test.
Yes.
Mindy speaks to her mother, who is also named with a full name I don't remember right now.
Nancy, I think.
Yep, that
Nancy.
sounds right.
Yeah.
It was
Nancy and
them?
Mindy.
I thought Nancy and
Reba
talked.
No, Reba.
No?
They might have also talked.
Okay, wow.
But I think
The first one was definitely Mindy and her mom.
I mean the one that was like we were getting there I think was that, but then the one where we like really locked in was when Reba and Nancy were talking.
Yeah.
Reba McEntire is not named Reba in the movie, but it's hard not to call her Reba.
I don't remember her name.
Heather, I think.
Heather, yes.
Bert and Heather.
Heather.
They're the gun nuts.
Yes, the survivalists.
Which I remembered the elephant gun, and it did exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a giant glass case as opposed to all their other guns.
Which are just like on a pegboard.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
There is like it is too long, but I also like appreciated how long it was of the scene of them just grabbing more guns and shooting the worm that busted through their basement wall.
Heading back to Reba with two pistols.
Yeah, they've already gone through multiple rifles. Like they constantly are grabbing like these long guns out the wall, and then it just cuts to Reba at some point just holding two pistols, just going to town. Like she's in a different movie all of a sudden.
Yeah, she's like in a John Woo movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're waiting for her to just like leap forward with the two guns.
Yeah, it was a comedic moment because of how long that scene was.
Yeah.
It was like we all sensed that it should be done, and that's when it cut to the two guns.
Yes. Yeah. And then you're like, I'm back on board. I'm refreshed.
You've earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was their personality, is they just like talked about guns the whole time, and by the end of it, I was very bored by it.
Yeah.
But, I'm not a gun person,
Yeah.
so
And I will say
that's for somebody else.
I will say, like, this, what was this, 92?
90.
90.
Who got it? Someone got it?
Me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good job.
Like, I feel like that's, I don't know, like, it's early enough in the age of new media where, like, we weren't so inundated with I don't know, like, there's so many ways in which you unwilling learn about guns now.
Sure.
Where it, like, was maybe a little more novel
Yeah.
back in 1990. I don't know. But yes, it was like most of their dialogue was just describing their guns.
I always like people having expertise, though, about what they're talking about. That was really fun. And it was really fun to hear Reba be as accomplished. Also fun was our scientist friend, Becky, is that right? Rhonda is amazing. She's the local university intern who's been assigned to track the seismography equment.
Yes, and we know she's a girl before we see her because as Val and Earl are driving somewhere, like, they see a truck, like, it's probably the new grad student, and then Kevin Bacon's character just goes, it's supposed to be a girl this time, and then just turns off the road and like starts talking to her. And then Dan, you got really bothered by at the end of their conversation where she said, sorry for bothering you.
That's right. They fully drove on her. Yeah. Kevin Bacon's monologuing about how he hopes she's a blonde with, quote, world-class breasts.
Yeah, he had a very specific list. It was like blonde,
green eyes,
world-class breasts,
and legs that
all the way up.
Something about an ass that won't quit. Very cliche. An ass that won't quit, legs get all that. And then even Earl was just like, he literally calls him out. It's like, that's always your like requirement. Like,
and they're terrible. They're all terrible.
And then you find out he has on the sun visor, he has pictures of all the other blonde women he's attempted to court over the years.
And when they pull up, she's so hideous.
So brunette.
Because she's got, brownish hair and she's wearing sunscreen.
Yeah. She has sensible clothing on for being out in the desert.
By herself.
Yeah. And he's disgusted.
Yeah. They are, I mean, they're polite at least. He's not like gross.
No, but like there's a quick cut of his like smile falling.
Yes.
As she gets up and shows her shoulder length brunette hair.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But I do like that they listen to her.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
And when they didn't, it was like comedic.
Yeah.
Like they really were playing it up.
They wrote her very well, because like the one time where, like, especially the first time when they're stuck on that rock, like when they truly are not listening to her, she literally just fucks off and just goes and solves the problem without even talking to them. She's like, all right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. But in general, they are deferring to the lady scientist.
Yeah.
For most of the movie, for expertise. And it's
like too much to the point where she even says at one point, like, why do you keep asking me?
Yeah, there's a little bit like Kevin Bacon's getting sweet on her.
Yes.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
And they're cute.
But also, she is there she's there to be a scientist, but she's there also to show his character arc.
For sure.
Yeah.
That he's able to come around to loving someone who's not blonde with green eyes.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
Yeah, it really bothered me that at the end of the movie, she thanks him for saving her life. But we then went on to list all the times that she saves his life, which is probably more.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So it's interesting because one of the times that she saves his life is with the pole vaulting idea of pole vaulting from boulder to boulder. And apparently the concept of Tremors was originally conceived in the early 1980s when writer S.S. Wilson was serving as an editor at a base for the Navy as a filmmaker, blah, blah, blah. When hiking one time over large boulders that involved pole vaulting, he suddenly had the thought, what if something was under the ground and I couldn't get off this rock?
Sure. So basically he lived the life of like any imaginative child who happened to live near big rocks.
I mean, basically, but he also wrote the script for Short Circuit.
Oh.
And when that movie was a big success, his agent was like, what else you got?
Nice.
Go back to some old ideas. They went back to that one. And anyway, he, with his writing partner, wrote it. And they brought their idea to their friend who was working at National Geographic, and he helped use his knowledge of zoology to make it more realistic.
Oh, that's fun.
And the original name for the movie was Land Sharks.
Nice.
Sure.
But that was a sketch in SNL, so they had to ditch that name.
That's awesome.
And then they had it called Beneath Perfection.
Okay.
Perfection is the name of town, and of course, that didn't work. So anyway, in the end, they went with Tremors.
Yeah.
But also, while we're at it, while we're just doing like our history chat about how this produced, I thought it was so interesting, Dan Jaquette, that you mentioned that you thought it was an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
And you are in some ways more correct than you realized. It was supposed to be released in November of '89, but it was got an R rating. And the directors were like, can we make this more family friendly? So they changed over 20 uses of the word fuck.
What? Come on.
That were either cut or redubbed with softer words. For example, can you fly, you sucker? We killed the mother humper.
Yeah,
they do say mother humper a lot.
Multiple times.
To the point where, Beth, you commented.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, it feels like I am watching the TV version of it. Like, I would have, if I was watching it on TV, I would have been like, oh, that was changed.
So they actually did it just before it was on TV?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, they did it to get the PG-13.
That's great. What was the first one? Fly, you suckers?
Yeah.
That line really got me.
I know. Like, can you fly, you sucker? That's right. Can you fly? I do respect for, like, because they clearly had to, like, have a meeting about it. I respect the fact the one they kept was Kevin Bacon just going, fuck you. After the worm, like, smashed into the, what do you call those things?
I don't know what that was.
No, the, like, irrigation.
Culvert.
Yeah, the culvert that's cutting through. Respect, because that was one of his best line deliveries.
Yeah.
His every line delivery was so good.
Goofy.
I have never
such a goofball.
Like, I've always been a Kevin Bacon fan, but this movie just brought out the most like exuberant, like ridiculous version of himself.
Yeah, because like it's young Bacon, so like he's still, like the wiry
jumping over stuff.
Yeah. But like it's not. It's such a ridiculous movie compared to like.
Even Footloose.
Even Footloose, yeah, exactly. Where like even with Footloose, like he still had to be like kind of a real person, right?
True.
Whereas this one, he can just be like a big old goof.
Who was wearing, I think, a pretty close approximation to a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And I don't think we should blow past Bert wearing an iconic Atlanta Hawks baseball cap.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like that specific cap? Like that specific design?
Actually, not exactly.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it did become iconic because he wore an Atlanta Hawks hat through most of the subsequent versions until the Cubs won the game in 2016. Okay. And by the game, I mean the World Series.
Yeah, the big game.
The big one. The big one.
The big best of 7 game.
That's right.
And then he switched. You'll notice because we went back to watch the trailers.
Yeah, we did watch the trailer for Tremors, A Cold Day in Hell.
Maybe?
Yeah, and the other one, Tremors.
Shrieker Island.
Yeah.
So are they trying to establish that his character is like a bandwagon baseball fan?
I don't know. I kind of got the impression it was a hat he got for free. I don't know. It was a weird choice.
Maybe
it was
it's
an
a Michael
interesting
Gross
choice.
thing.
Oh, maybe.
Like maybe he was a fan of the Hawks, but then like he was always a diehard Cubbies fan.
I think so.
And
You know what he's
like,
also?
we have to do it.
Guess what he's also a fan of?
What?
Railroad, like model railroads.
Okay.
He's like an unofficial spokesperson for like a national organization, and he owns like a mini museum and stuff. He's really into trains.
That rocks.
Oh, good
I
for you.
did so much research during this.
Yeah, did you
I'm
watch
sorry.
the movie?
I kind of went down a wormhole.
Oh,
Nice.
It really captured my attention and
Grabbed
grabbed
your-
my attention.
Your attention.
Dragged you down into the internet.
Oh,
The
can we just
alluvial, whatever is it?
also give props to Rhonda for being so quick thinking about just shedding her boots and pants when they got caught in the barbed wire and she was about to get
Yes.
eaten?
I mean, that
I
was
agree.
Kevin
It
Bacon's
was
idea.
a
though.
great idea that she'd take her pants off. And she had to.
Had to.
She had to take
Let
her
the
pants off.
record show the primary female character in this movie full of dudes was required for her safety, to save her own life, to remove her pants.
She was just making a smart choice because she's a smart woman with no pants
Yes.
on.
Oh, okay.
Granted, the horny main male character is the one who shouted, "Get rid of your pants."
Yeah,
He
and
did?
probably the male writers wrote the scene so she would take her pants off.
Oh,
But yes,
I
it
missed that.
was Kevin Bacon's idea. Because she was, to her credit, doing what anyone would do, which is, I'm going to try to get this barbed wire off of my legs.
That
was
was
honestly-
terrible.
That sucked.
Yeah, that was maybe I had the weirdest feelings about.
Oh,
like
that'd be
the most
so-
uncomfortable feelings of
Yeah,
like barbed wire
ouch.
wrapping around my
There's
ankles.
so many layers to the discomfort of that specific scenario if you put yourself in it, right? Like even like before you even get to the giant worm
Yeah.
who's trying to eat you, like just already like falling on the ground with barbed wire wrapped on your legs multiple times.
Yeah. And
Like
you know
already, that sucks.
You know you're going to have to take your pants off in front of your new crush.
Ugh.
You're not ready for that.
No, you're not.
Luckily, they went into the shop afterwards and they got a new pair of pants.
Yes. Miguel gave her
some
new pants.
Shoes.
Miguel's such a gentleman.
Was it Miguel?
Yes.
I think it was Miguel, yeah.
Oh.
Speaking of
for
the
him.
Speaking of the store, Walter Fong's shop, I think was his name.
Walter Chang.
I thought it was Fong.
Uh-oh.
Molly.
I thought it was fun.
I thought it was Kang.
Oh boy. Anyway, this is actually
Wait, no.
This is a great segue into what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Apologies to the actor whose name I already forgot, who plays Walter, who in my
Victor Wong.
Oh, maybe that's where I'm getting confused. So the actor Victor Wong is the person that I in my childhood brain / dumb ignorant white guy thought was Pat Morita.
Yeah.
But I was very wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, that guy rules. He's also in other movies.
He's in Big Trouble in China. He plays Egg Shen and other stuff.
Yeah, he was great. He, again, one of the best lines of the movie, concocted the name Graboids.
Yeah. Oh. And he gets a good death.
He does.
He dies, but he goes down well.
Yeah, it hurts your heart to see Walter go.
It's Chang.
Damn it.
Oh.
Yes.
I must have had
I got it right.
I got his actor name and the V of his first name maybe just in my head, just smooshed up.
That's all right.
Yeah, I was trying to read about real life.
I also drove by a shuttered restaurant a couple of days ago. I think had a similar name, so maybe I'm just like smashing all of these G-ending surnames together in my head. I don't know. I already said I was an ignorant white man. Give me a break.
You're doing fine.
Thank you.
Well,
yes.
You guys want to hear about why Griffithus
Yes.
picked this movie?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I love this movie and Tremors too. I first saw it when I was a kid, probably on cable, maybe Sci-Fi Channel, and it really kick-started my love of monster movies and creature features. Back in the day, Sci-Fi had a bunch of original movies, and I loved the weird monster movies they would make. Curious to see what you guys think of the creature effects and how they hold up.
Ooh.
Yeah, the creatures look real.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
They look great.
Those like the creature is like a big giant worm.
Yeah.
It's got 3 prongs that kind of open up, like 3 jaws.
Yeah, not in the same way that I was picturing, because I did think it was exactly like the dune worms, but it's more like it's got like the top beak and then like 3 little doodads on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then it has 3 tongue worms.
I
Like
guess.
heads?
Tentacles?
Yeah.
I know, but they have like,
But they also,
I guess nothing has eyes, but they
seem to have mouths and
seem to
faces
be
also.
independently driven. Does
They're
that make
like
sense?
Doc Ock.
snakes as tongues.
Yeah.
Tongue snakes.
It's like Dr. Octopus.
So at
Sure.
first they just see a tongue snake and they're like, "Oh, we can handle this."
Right.
And then they realize, no, that's just
No, that's just in the mouth.
Which was like, good job, film. Right? Like you
Yeah.
knew it was a monster movie, but like at first, like all you see is like the weird little things. Like, oh, sure, there's like weird little snakes in the ground. That's fun.
Yeah.
And then it reveals like, oh, actually, it's just the little tongues inside this much larger thing.
And then I guess the first reveal of the big monster is kind of you get a big wide shot of it kind of breaching the ground, right? And so I already knew it was a giant worm, but I guess in the world where you're seeing this movie for the first time,
yeah.
you're like, oh shit, it's big. That would be a good moment.
Yeah.
And then thanks to the sand wrangler, it was very believable.
Yeah.
I got a little tricked because I was like, I don't remember them being that small.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope, those are not that
I was
small.
like, that's not the size of a Geo Metro.
Yeah.
Yeah, me.
A car does get buried and it rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And that's another great moment of they're like, where did the doctor
Oh,
Yep.
and
yeah.
his wife go?
Yep.
Who's a whole human being, obviously, but not a doctor, so who cares? I
She
guess.
might be a doctor.
Yeah, we don't know.
Oh, a double doctor. The doctors.
Yeah.
The doctor was a woman.
That's right.
One of the doctors was a woman.
And a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, all doctors.
Yes, all doctors.
Anyway, they disappear.
Yes.
And Val and Earl are trying to find them.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, they're gone. They left town. They went
Yeah,
to Bixby.
car's not here.
Everybody's trying to go to Bixby.
Yeah.
But then there's music playing, the Golden Oldies.
Yes. Where are them golden oldies coming from?
And then they brush away and they just see straight up the front of the car flat with the ground. It's great.
Yeah, this movie had so many great like the ground moments.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Where it's like they did a really I don't know because the whole point is like the thing is in the ground, and because it's like they don't have the benefit of Jaws where there's like a literal fin that they can just have going around the top of the water. They did a really good job of coming up with like different ways for stuff to move around.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, they did a great job of making it like there was the like there were times when it was like going through a fence that would knock down each post, or like it was going under the like deck of the shop and it rippled as it fun. Yeah. That was,
and I love the worm-o-vision.
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
When you got the worm POV,
yeah, it had big like Evil Dead energy. It was just a camera like zooming across the ground, and occasionally under the ground.
Great. I will say, I felt like seeing the whole worm out of the ground after the stampede. I was like, it seems like it should be longer.
Yeah.
But then I was like, how much latex do I want them like having to form?
I mean, Crestron probably had a pretty tight budget.
Yeah,
it's a small movie.
Probably.
Sure. Yeah. You know what I mean, like Crestron, we need three independently working snake puppets inside a bigger snake worm.
I've only got two arms. How am I supposed to make three snake hands go?
Okay. How about this? We write in that one of them gets pulled out by the truck.
Oh, sure. I could just be kind of floppy. Maybe I'll rig some up.
Yeah, I can make a stump worm. Sure. We can do that. We can do a stump worm. It's just so crazy at my work. Hell yeah. Yeah, the I don't know. Whoever was puppeteering the tongue worms must have been having a great time.
Great time.
There's so many
slither
great
around
moments
and grab
of
onto
them.
stuff.
Like I think we all were very excited at the point where they were like basically invading Walter's store, and they just quick cut to. It was a very like Gremlins moment. Just quick cuts to one of them like on a shelf bursting a tomato soup can.
Yeah. That was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, that ruled.
I really,
Or the one. Sorry, I'm just thinking of cool tongue snake moments.
I really just appreciated the tone. I think it hit right down the middle.
Yeah.
Of like, there's some legit scary moments, but it's not taking anything too seriously.
Yeah.
Where you do have goofy moments like bursting a tomato can.
Yeah.
And
it's like the Gremlins dial was not turned all the way up to Gremlins, right? It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Which brings us to a Discord question I just remembered.
What's Discord?
Oh.
It's our text-based chat platform you can get access to if you join our Patreon.
Wow. /Let's
Sure.
Sure.
Carzon comments and asks, this might have been the first quote-unquote scary movie I saw as a kid.
Nice.
Do you think it was scary when it was first released, or was it always campy first, scary second? And I think I'm saying it's doing both. It's doing both in parallel and is not trying to do either more than the other.
I guess so. There were moments that were genuinely scary for me, and I felt really glad I wasn't watching it live.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like they're very deliberately, they literally were going to call it land sharks. So they're like very deliberately aping Jaws, but then it's also, this was made in a post-Jaws world. So that might have been their thought. It's just like, well, we can't just do what Jaws did because Jaws already exists. So we can't just be like spooky thing you can't see for 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say it doesn't have the same sort of tension like a Jaws has.
No.
But there were definitely moments where I was like, I know something's about to pop out. And wow, did they use stings heavily?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I feel like, I think it would lean more campy than scary, but that's
Kevin Bacon's character alone.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a goof.
And Melvin. Ugh.
And it hits the monster movie formula so satisfyingly well.
Yeah.
There's a long running improvised monster movie here in the Twin Cities that I honestly can't remember if I was
Creature
ever in.
feature.
Nice.
I don't think so.
I don't think you were.
But I probably did it in a class like, hey, we're going to do a monster movie.
Sure.
I was in it. No big deal.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Bragging.
you were for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Less time than people think, but that's fine.
You were in another scary based
That's true.
Yeah.
show.
We can't, there's no going back. But anyway, just thinking about all the elements.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going with this. Like you have to think about all the elements and they just hit them in a good way. Like the town is cut off, right? Oh, the phone lines are out and the road collapses and those all feel earned enough for what they're trying to do.
Oh yeah. And then Walter's even like, oh, the radio can't get past the mountains. I can't contact the town. Like,
yeah. They sprinkle in enough of the stuff where no one is like, well, why don't you just do this? And then the problem's over.
Right.
And there's a scientist character who's sort of new in town who has some answers.
Yeah.
It really satisfied my expectations of what a monster movie was in a very pleasing way.
Yeah.
I think it satisfied my expectation that I would be yelling at the screen for somebody to do the opposite of what they were
Sure,
doing.
of course. Sure. Yes, especially Melvin.
Oh, well, Melvin for sure. But like even with the doctors,
Oh, sure.
there were just moments where, of course, they don't have the information that we
Right,
do.
I
But it was
know.
just hard to not just be like, just
Yeah.
Why
get
would
in the
you
car
run
and-
towards it?
Yeah.
Or like,
Run
yeah,
away.
oh, that's right. Because the doctor, like after they find the cord of their
The male
generator,
doctor.
the male doctor, sorry. The cord of the generator has been cut off, and the generator looks like it's sank into the ground. They hear like a weird rumbling, and he's like, "Oh, maybe it's." I don't remember. He like has some theory and starts walking towards it, and he's clearly much smarter doctor wife. It's like, let's just go.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because their bricks were showing up tomorrow.
Yes,
What was
they're
that
like
again?
building a
Cinder
house
blocks.
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Okay.
cinder blocks are coming, but like she was like, because the generator was the only way they had power.
So why were they going? Because their plan was to drive into Brixby.
To pick up the cinder blocks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know why. I see. Okay.
So
I
they
thought
were,
that they were moving to Brixby and that's what they were like heading there, and it was like finally the cinder. But then later you see the house,
Yeah.
yeah,
or the frame of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that all makes sense now.
they were living in that trailer.
Rough.
So sad.
Speaking of trailers, again, it's top notch.
Movie trailer?
Huh?
Movie trailer or trailer?
Trailer, like the vehicle
Got
/ home thing.
Yep.
Great job, movie for making very visceral, like, oh yeah, it would suck to be the guy on top of a trailer when the smart worms are under you.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Because
yeah.
like there's a point where, again, like James was saying, like they do such a job of like ramping it up where it's like first thing it's these small little snakes. Then you realize it's like, oh no, it's 3 snakes for the tongue of the giant worm. Then she's like, oh no, my seismology machines tell me there's more than one of these
Yeah.
things. And then it's like, oh no, they're actually smart. They're trying to like fuck up the foundations of the buildings we're on the
Yes.
roofs of.
Yep.
It was great.
It was great.
Poor
Well, they did get
Nestor.
smarter.
They did.
They
Like,
did.
very
They
smart.
set a trap. They dug a
They dug a fucking
trench
for the
or whatever.
cat.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ugh.
Get
And
the
they
figured out the bombs.
just figured out the bomb. Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Should we set that up a little?
Bert and Reba, who I refuse to give her character's name because I can't, because literally every time she did something cool, I semi-involuntarily just went, Reba!
Oh, by the way, the VIP of this movie is her bangs.
Oh,
God.
incredible.
Her hair is incredible. And
Yeah.
we understand why now, because in the credits we learned that hair and makeup was by
The Flying Fabrizi sisters,
incredible.
for whom I could find no other information
Yes.
on the
What?
entire internet.
Yes.
They
Just did Tremors.
They are
flew
legends.
in and did Reba's hair
Exactly.
and flew away.
Like Mary Poppins.
Maybe Reba like demanded. I only have my movie hair done by the Flying Fabrizi
Oh,
sisters.
that's all. Maybe like she's had them on retainer for decades, and that's why you don't hear about them.
I don't know. Maybe she does her own hair and it's like a joke. I don't know.
She's
I
getting
don't know.
paid twice.
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
Getting that sweet.
It's me, Melanie Fabrizi. Reba, I can see the wig. No, it's
Hey,
who is
also be a
this
Maria
Reba?
Fabrizi. Oh, now you gotta pay her for 3. Be a pay for 2
It's just
hairs.
a puppet. She just has like a hand puppet.
Then that Hank comes in. Oh, Reba, hey, what good puppet work you have.
Oh yeah,
Why'd
that's
you be
right.
the
And
third
then-
Malfoy?
And then she like
Oh.
grabs him by the collar. It's like, shut the fuck up, Hank. You're gonna ruin this for me.
Fabrizi's will take you out.
Quit blowing up my spot, Cresthorn.
It's just a bit of Fabrizi.
Oh, we Italians, we're so passionate. I'm saying hello to my friend Hank Cresthorn. Mwah, mwah. Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I love this. So the Flying Fabrizi sisters are
Reba
in
McEntire.
canon the fake hair and makeup team that Reba McEntire uses so she can get paid twice.
And they're puppets?
No, one of them is a puppet because one of
and
them
then
is just
one is
Reba in
her.
a wig.
And then the other one is she's like a hand puppet.
But it's a really good puppet because Cresthorn made it for her.
Okay.
But then
Crestthorn made
Cresthorn
it.
almost blew up her spot because he's
Maybe
also working on the
it
movie.
started as like a sock puppet, and
Yeah.
then Cresthorn had to make good on
Well, because she
Oh,
saw
no.
how good he made the graboids, so she's
Sure.
like, okay.
time to make a
here-
Fabrizi puppet.
Yeah, because originally it was just like Maria Fabrizi, right?
Yeah.
That was been her scheme for years before the movie Tremors.
That's right.
But then she saw how good Cresthorn's work was on the graboids. She's like, methinks I have another scheme.
Do you think somebody was like, why is what are their names? Maria and
Oh, I already forgot.
I think we might have named them both Maria.
why is Maria floating in the air?
Yeah.
And then that's where the flying comes
Oh, yeah.
Totally. I love this.
This is great.
This rocks. Anyway, her hair is amazing in this movie. It's like bangs, but also a mountain of hair at the same time.
You know what? Everybody's hair is great too, though.
For sure.
Like
Bacon.
Bacon's hair is so golden.
I think I called him a young lion. Yeah. To the movie.
Yeah,
it is just like a golden mane.
And
surrounding his head.
Yeah, and it drapes so gracefully out of the cowboy hat in certain scenes.
You were going to say something about Reba before I interrupted with her hair.
Oh, right. I was going to explain why there are bombs in the movie. Yeah. So Reba and Bert are, again, because they've learned that the elephant gun works, but only when you shoot them in the open mouth.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have the penetrating power to get under the dirt.
Yeah.
So they start... Apparently, they're just like immediately had the idea because this is the kind of people that are like, oh, we'll just make pipe bombs.
Yeah, that's
which Bert
all they're
describes
doing.
as what he say, like, oh, it's just household chemicals at certain ratios is how he describes it.
Yeah.
So they eventually they get stuck on what we named butt rock because it was a boulder in the middle of the field that kind of looked like a butt. And so they realize like, oh, what if we can like bait them with a thingy, a bomb, and then it'll eat the bomb and blow up. So they get one of them blows up. That's where we first learned that they're made out of canned pumpkin.
Yeah.
Is when they blow up from the bomb.
Yeah. But Melvin gets his, which is getting covered in.
Yeah, he does.
But he could have been more covered.
I was hoping for like the EPA guy at the end of Ghostbusters with marshmallow.
LOL,
right?
LOL, worm guts.
Yeah. But then maybe the best, these worms are smart. They are the clever girls years before Jurassic Park. Maybe not that many years. What, 2?
Yeah.
Like they do it again, but this time Kevin Bacon has to show off with the lady, like, because he can also lasso, even though Earl was clearly so much better.
Oh, Earl was much
Come
better.
on. Ugh. And the worm takes it and they're like, yes, we did it. And then it just spits it back out and it arcs it perfectly so that it lands right where they are on the rock on top of
That's right.
other bombs.
That's right.
Which
Perfect
like
shot.
that at least I think was more just like the magic of movies. Like I don't think we were supposed to believe that like the worm could use its like worm sense to like that sounds like a bag full of pipe bombs.
Yeah. And that was actually a disappointing moment for me of not having a cool explosion.
Because it was a bag of bombs.
That should have been the best explosion in the movie. And most of them are kind of like just dust spraying up.
Sure.
Which is maybe more realistic.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of bombs those are. But
they're household chemicals under certain ratios.
That's right.
Yeah.
I wanted like a big explosion.
You wanted a Jimmy Cam explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know.
But we also have to believe they all survive, right?
True.
Sure.
So
they could have jumped away in slow motion.
They did. I mean, Earl, Valentine, and Rhonda, like they are far enough away from the rock after the explosion. Like the distance they made suggests it was a larger explosion than we saw. But again, they assume this was a pretty tight budget.
But everybody else was fine, and they were just right there on the other side of the rock.
I think that's because they went on the other side of the rock.
Yeah.
Whereas they actually jumped off the rock.
the budget was $6 million, and they made $16 million.
Nice.
But then it was huge on VHS.
Hell yeah, it was. You're welcome.
And Blu-ray. Mm-hmm.
We rented that sucker at least a dozen times.
What's going on, Dan?
I was trying to remember the main comedy sketches that are Bert. I think it's Bert and I, though.
What are you talking about?
Oh, no.
As a reason for why I kept saying mixing up Bert and Earl. Maybe
like Bert and Ernie?
That was one thought I had. I
Okay.
mean, you asked for this.
No, I'm sorry.
I was ready to.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Was they high boots or was they low boots?
What are you talking
I'm
about?
trying to do some Bert and I classic down home Maine comedy skits.
Maine comedy skits?
Yeah, the state of Maine. They're famous up in Maine.
Did they go to like a summer camp you went to?
No. They've been around for a while.
They're like a regional.
I got some CDs. Yeah, it's regional comedy.
Oh, yeah. That rocks.
That's the worst.
Respect. But also, let's stop talking about it.
Fair enough.
Have we like, just so we're not being cruel, have we clarified enough why Melvin sucks?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, he there's no like, I don't know.
There's no one thing.
But like he does enough things that are like
Bad vibes.
so dumb. Like there's one thing of him being like a turd teenager. We're like, oh, this kid sucks. But like the time when he runs out with the snake corpse.
Yeah.
Literally right after Bert and Reba are like, oh, we'll loan you our high-powered automatic rifles to take them out as you ride back. Like he could have seen them out the window. He knew they had those guns on them, and he still ran out with the snake corpse on him screaming.
And I tell you what, Michael Gross has never scared me more than when he leaned in and was like, that was close.
That was
too close.
Yeah, that was like authentic old man yelling at a shitty teen.
Yeah.
Where he wasn't really yelling. He was just like, I'm going to speak directly to you.
Yeah.
Quietly enough where I'm not making a scene, but I'm making it clear to you. I almost blew your goddamn head off because you're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
That was probably 19 of the 20 instances of fuck that they had in the whole thing.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, just the kind of kid who's joking too much.
Yeah. And like his jokes are bad.
And his jokes are bad.
That's the thing.
And he doesn't help anybody.
Yeah.
And he kind of expects to be still part of the gang.
It's like the Elon Musk of teens.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that actually describes it perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like he tries to be funny, but his jokes are bad. He wants to be part of something, but he sucks. So
I mean, he wants to be part of something, but instead is like pushing everyone away.
Exactly.
Yeah. And making things worse.
Yes. And not listening to anyone else.
Yeah.
And just like think for one second. Oh yeah, and he like wasn't gonna get up on the roof, and they're like, "Get up on the roof."
He's like, "No way!"
Yeah, it's really hard, even under life and death. Because I think there's part of me that's like, okay, people might be terrible, but in a life or death situation, they'll come to.
Right.
And I feel like Melvin is the embodiment of that not happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he survives somehow.
Tragically.
Despite himself.
Even though.
Would we trade him for the shopkeeper? Yes.
Absolutely.
100%.
Without batting an eye. I was genuinely moved by Walter's death. I was so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor man that all of his sheep get eaten, and then he's just a face.
That was one of the first
Great ground moment.
incredible stings too, where there's just a hat on the ground. And they pull it off and there's a face.
Pointed straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that those beginning sequences felt very much like pulled right from Jaws, including the that reminds me of the scene where I think it's Richard Dreyfuss goes under the boat, and then that body falls down.
Yes.
Like, ooh, something's in the water.
Yep.
Something's in the alluvial something.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
word that she used that
She
showed
used
that she was a scientist.
science
That she
word
just
for dirt.
she just called dirt for them. Great stuff.
They don't give her a hard time at all.
No.
For being a dumb egghead or anything.
I know. And they're not there's not a I can't think of anything. Like maybe there was some belittling language from some of the guys, but I don't really remember there ever being overt sexist attitudes towards
None
her,
of them are the mayor
right?
from Jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's ever just what do you, it's come on, honey, what are you talking about? They listen to her, like you said, yeah.
Or these know-it-alls up from the university.
Right.
I know, No, everybody's...
They're they're looking for more answers than she has.
Yeah.
Speaking of looking for answers, I bet that there was a moment in this movie where Kevin Bacon and Rhonda both admired each other's asses in jeans. And that did not happen.
Did not happen.
And now I am very confused as to what movie I'm thinking of. Because I had it.
Oh, you had a distinct memory.
Yes, I had it associated with this movie. Dan, I think you suggested maybe it was Tremors 2.
Oh, maybe. Well, that brings us to why I think it might have been Tremors 2.
Okay.
Fra states, my only regret is that you're not watching Tremors 2 and there will not be a discussion about ass blasters.
Whoa.
Because you were talking about asses, and he mentioned ass blasters, which we also heard
in the trailer
in some of the other trailers for the subsequent Tremors.
There was an amazing line delivery in one of the trailers. It's if you got ass blasters, you got graboids.
Yeah. So I'm guessing in Tremors 2, which I haven't seen.
Maybe they shoot themselves out of the ground. That's why they're ass blasters.
Yeah. Or maybe they're eating people on the toilet or something. That's a major fear in the world.
Coming to the toilet?
Yeah, there's a Stephen King movie about that where they come up with the toilet eat people's butts.
What?
It might be Dreamcatcher.
There's a toilet.
Well, it doesn't sound
monster?
like the dream is what they're catching.
Yeah, that movie's wild. I think that was one of the cocaine books from Stephen King.
Oh, sure.
There were in the trailers that we saw, there were also flying graboids.
Are those the
And then there were
shriekers?
ones that looked
Those were
like
the shriekers, I think.
I thought the shriekers were the ones that looked like velociraptors.
Maybe.
They had legs.
We're probably just going to have to watch these movies to find out.
Yeah, I did say I was not opposed to another podcast about all the Tremors movies. There's a lot of them.
I'm in.
Yeah.
maybe it was Tremors 2 because like as we were watching this movie, I was like, oh, maybe it's Earl whose ass gets admired. And I think he's in the second one.
Okay.
So maybe I saw the second one, and in that one, a woman admires his ass, and then he also admires her ass.
Yeah.
Because now that he's the main character, obviously he has to be horny for someone.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go down a wormhole after this.
Wormhole.
Do I just Google Tremors ass jeans and just see what happens?
I mean, just see what happens.
Keep us posted.
I will. Check the Discord for updates.
Yeah. Here's the rest of the Discord questions.
Please.
Yeah.
While we're on it.
Other updates.
Yeah. The reference machine states The Floor is Lava Monster Movie Edition.
Oh,
True.
yeah.
That's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of similar to your comment before, Dan, of like an imaginative child pole vaulting over
Yeah.
a crack. Kate.
Butt crack.
Hell yeah.
Good one. Kate asks, other than creature similarities, are there correlations to Dune?
Get on the rocks.
Get on the rocks.
Use distraction vibrations. Like all the mechanics of the worms are the same.
Yeah.
At least in terms of surviving the worms are the same.
There's no space politics.
No.
Dust.
Unfortunately.
There's also no bombs, right? They don't use bombs to kill the worms. Because the worms, it seems like in Dune, the worms are an inevitability. Yeah, they're like not, you can't defeat them by killing 3 of them creatively.
No.
So it's like something they live with,
It's
right?
Shai Hulud. You cannot destroy a god.
Yeah, you need that spice too.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Wait, do the worms produce the spice?
Oh my God, Molly.
What, do they?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a baby worms, right? Is it
Wait,
worm eggs?
what?
That's what spice is?
Oh, is this a reveal?
Huh?
Isn't it like worm eggs or something?
No. The baby worms is what creates the water of life, which allows a Bene Gesserit to become a Reverend Mother.
Okay.
You idiot.
Yeah.
You drown the baby worm, and the secretions that release from its corpse create the water of life.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's right. And then his mom drinks some?
Yeah, so does
So
he.
the worms are eating all the people because they keep on killing their babies?
I think the worms don't care. I think they're so big and just lumbering beasts. They're just like, hey, what's this thing in front of me? Gulp, gulp, gulp.
Then what's the spice? Don't the worms make
I think
it?
they poop it out.
Oh,
I think it's worm poop.
okay.
What?
I think it's like how like worm casings, like in regular worms. Like I think that's what it is.
Or it's like dandruff.
It's like worm casings, but it's space
Some
warp
nerd
spice.
is screaming at us.
What
though.
spice again?
What do you mean?
What is it?
It's the most
I mean,
valuable
it's-
substance in
It
the
must
universe.
flow. It's how
Space
interstellar
fuel?
travel is
happens,
possible.
and it also
Okay.
That's why it's
it also
important
allows
for the economy.
prescience.
Yeah, you can also get fucking high. I can't think of any of the perils of Dune other than the worm.
I think it's just the mechanics of it, where it's like you got to get on the rocks to be safe. You can distract them with vibrations, and then they have weird mouths,
I mean,
right?
certainly fear is the mind killer in this movie as well.
Certainly, Melvin, you idiot.
Ugh. Melvin should be invincible then. He doesn't have any real like sense.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because he doesn't have a mind to kill.
Oh, yeah, clever thing.
And then Kate also followed up with a sandworm size chart, which it's fun. Join
Love
Patreon
that.
and go look at it. It's got Shai Hulud,
Yep,
the worms from Beetlejuice,
nice,
Graboids, and the Sarlacc from Return of the Jedi. So
great.
Word
I have a
facts.
question about that. Actually.
Sarlacc.
Sarlacc, I think, is bigger than the tremor worms.
well, get on Discord and argue about
I
it.
think if you I think the deep canon is that it's like a giant thing under the ground, right? And the mouth is just like a little part of it that's exposed. Or something.
Sarlacc?
Yeah.
But like,
When the
I'm
Is that
picturing
from-
it being bigger than.
Oh, like even the mouth, you're saying?
yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, I feel like I'm
Is this from
picturing.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Luke,
That's the tooth pit.
we've seen
Yeah.
it.
like Luke Skywalker is like, it's at least longer than his body, right?
Totally.
Yeah, I guess I agree with that. That seems
Multiple
like
people are in that
the
mouth.
Sarlacc should be bigger than even the Beetlejuice worm.
Maybe. Those ones are very long.
Yeah.
Sure.
And also, like, the perspective on those was difficult to gather. Although I didn't see Beetlejuice, maybe there's a close-up on the worms in that one.
Maybe. Well, join Patreon and get in Discord and argue about sandworm size.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's really get into the discourse of fictional worms.
Discord. Just
That's what they should call it. Just gorgeous.
Discord.
Gorgeous.
speaking of gorgeous, the end of the movie, Tremors. They pop that bad boy into a gorge, sort of.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, sure.
Or half a gorge.
I think it's just like a cliff into I don't know.
Is a cliff just half a gorge?
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Cliffhanger.
Wow.
A flyer.
That's the sound of one gorge
Clapping.
halving.
Yeah, what if a worm came out of a gorge, man?
That's right.
Could it fly? Could that sucker fly?
Fly, you sucker. And then finally, B asks, what's a better name for the monsters than whatever names they argue about?
How dare you? Didn't they call him Suckoid at one point?
Yeah. Melvin was really into the oid suffix.
And Walter was into it. Like he provided oid, and Walter was like, oid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I have there's a soft spot in my heart for Graboid just because of my childhood.
Yeah, it is very dumb.
Mother Humper.
Mother Humper, Snake Mouths.
It's like the Worm Dominator or something, or a monster truck name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like Bone Crusher.
Nice.
I think that's separate.
I would be curious
Foot Sucker.
Like, I would be curious what Rhonda and her team end up naming it when they start doing legitimate research on it. You know, when they give it its Latin nomen taxonomy.
Sure.
Probably call it Buttoid.
Wow.
I mean, I would hope they to honor Walter. I'd hope they either keep Graboid in the name or put his name into its name.
The Walter.
Right, like Waltericus or something.
Yeah, Waltericus Graboidius.
Sure.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Perfection in there, right? Because
sure.
after its location.
Perfectus.
Graboidus perfectionarium. I don't know. Whatever. Graboids.
Yep.
Grifficus.
Grifficus.
Graboid. The third.
Yeah.
Grabicus. Okay, what's next?
That's the end of our Discord questions. The next segment on this podcast is our final ratings of the movie.
Aw.
Oh.
We're at the end already?
Yes?
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, somebody doesn't like podcasting.
No?
Okay.
I don't know. I was just
we have
trying to
anything else?
get into the mind of the listener.
Yeah, who
Oh, okay.
loves listening to us
And
so
they're
much.
like, aw.
And then in
is
my
the
mind, I'm
final
like,
segment?
which segment did I forget about?
I mean, okay.
Sorry.
Just real quick, like search the recess of your mind. Is there anything so crucial to this movie that you feel was not properly shared to show the listener why Griffithus loves this movie so much?
Why do I have
Now, are you
language
setting
written
me
down?
up?
What?
I feel like everybody's setting me up for something.
I'm
and
not,
I
I was
don't
just,
have anything else to
genuinely
say.
no, we're just
I
genuinely.
was just doing the voice of the
Here's
audience.
the thing. Here's like little peek behind our curtain. Here's the thing. We usually always go really long and then regret it when we try to go to bed that night. So now I think it feels wrong, even though we're probably doing a good job.
Yeah.
We could do the Fabrizi sisters more.
I think that's what's happening. I think doing a good job is throwing us off.
Like, wait a second. We reached the end of the podcast on time?
There's a reasonable amount of footage for Beth to go through to edit.
Oh, it's me, Isabella Fabrizi.
Oh, I'm going to tussle your hair, Reba McIntyre. Oh, I'm getting, I don't know what accent that's going into something else. Reba McIntyre. Oh, it is I, Maria Fabrizi from the Highlands of Sesame Street.
Speaking of Sesame
Oh,
Street.
yeah.
Sesame
there you
Street.
Yes, Segway King.
Our reviews, as we all remember, is it is Griffithopithecus,
No.
the Square Tufts.
Griffith.
You wrote it on a digital form, right?
Griffithopithus. Griffithopithecus? Square Tuff?
Griffithophagus.
Okay.
Griffithopithecus. With a G?
Griffithophagus.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
Snuffleupagus is a G.
Okay,
Yeah.
They're
but
cousins.
Griffithus is a C.
But they're cousins with Snuffleupagus.
Griffithopithecus Square Tufts.
God damn.
No, the Griffithopithecus Square Tufts?
Yeah.
I thought it was Griffithopithecus the square tuff.
That's what I said.
Yep, that's
Okay, that works.
Because there's only one square tuff, right?
Fair.
Until we rate it. Then there's multiple square
No,
tuffs.
this is how many times
Oh, right.
he gave shitty advice to Big Bird.
He's like a real Melvin.
This rules.
Okay, he is of course, stuff like his cousin
Yeah.
who has
The bad boy.
he's seen some shit, wears a leather jacket, rides a hog.
Cigarettes.
Basically Molly in college.
Yeah. Yeah. He also once, like the Graboids, used his prehensile snout to pull a pickaxe out of his skull when he was attacked in a brawl.
my
That
goodness.
was
A barroom brawl.
Yeah.
Because he said Seeger sucked, and some guy came at him.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
This is all canon.
That's canon. Dan, you gave it 4. You thought it would be bad but rule.
Yeah.
But maybe also be secretly good.
Yeah, I think it was secretly good. Like, I feel like, as we've discussed, I feel like it rode a very specific line quite successfully of being like kind of goofy, but still like a fun, monster movie of the Jaws style. Mm-hmm. And like, I was so charmed by those bros and the fact that they respected women. For the most part. I guess at least real, like, I feel like the only disrespect was like hypothetical women when Kevin Bacon was like listing the qualities he prayed to Jesus that this grad student would have or whatever. But overall, I feel like everyone's pretty cool with each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything that was like, ugh, gross.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
just like shitty teen attitude.
I was a little worried that they were going to be shitty to Walter.
When we first saw the
Walter
name
Chang.
on the sign, we were like, uh-oh.
The small town's going to be racist.
Yeah.
But like,
They love him.
He's great. He's
He's the heart of the city.
Yeah.
Heart of the town. 14 people.
14 people. Perfection.
Anyway, this movie rules. I'm going for it. 5. 5 Griffitophagus, the square tufts.
Big Bird. Ooh, why don't you light 8 cigarettes at once?
Yes, what are your 5 advices?
Oh no.
Big Bird, wake up. We're gonna pop a wheelie on this bicycle and drive into traffic. Ooh, Big Bird, throw that rotten sandwich at what's the name of that fairy Elmo friend?
Oh,
You know
I
what I'm talking about?
mean.
She's got
Yeah,
little, like, pom-poms in her head.
so cute. I don't know the
she's
name.
adorable.
Ava? I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Abby.
Abby.
Okay.
Abby sounds right.
Cadabra.
Nice.
Abby.
Perfect.
Oh, really?
Right?
That sounds like a Muppet's name.
Yeah.
Ooh, Big Bird, throw this dirty sandwich at Abby Cadabra and make her have to clean dirty mayonnaise off her wings. Puff, puff, puff. He's puffing a cigarette.
That's 3.
Oh, it's only 3?
Yeah.
Big Bird, break into Mr. Hooper's shop and take all the money out of the cash register and use it to buy booze and then give that booze to Elmo, who's underage. Yeah, let's party with Elmo, baby. Go to his magic house made of crayons. And number 1, Big Bird, let's tape Major League Baseball and then show it to the public.
What a bad boy.
What a bad boy.
Beth, I'm a little worried you're going to take down your rating just because you're going to have to think of things.
You're not obligated to do the dumb things I do.
Wow. You gave it 2.5 because you don't remember it, so who knows? But you got a lot of potential.
Yeah, I was mostly entertained by it. I don't know that like this type of movie is necessarily for me though. And I, with so much respect for Griffithus. Yeah, I think I actually am going to leave it at 2.5.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's fine.
That's fine. That's respect.
That's fine.
Okay.
And it might be because I only have to do 2.
You don't have to do it.
Well,
Big Bird, why don't you go to the count and tell him that numbers aren't real?
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Hitting the count with like whatever that kind of math is called.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's awesome.
yeah.
Go over to Grover.
Yeah.
Tell him that he's a true monster. I don't know. And he is, that's the book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the monster at the end of the book.
Yeah, except for cancel.
Cancel Grover. You're so good at this, Beth. I'm sad you only gave it 2.
Wow.
You're way better than that.
Wow. Woke Mafia, Griffithus, Tuffagus.
Oh. Like, what I love about this is like everyone in this table and everyone listening gets to imagine for themselves what Big Bird would do to get Grover canceled. What tale would he weave? Oh, geez, I found these old tweets of Grover's.
Oh, look. Grover dressed up as for Halloween.
Oh, no.
That knight's helmet looks suspicious. It's like one from the Crusades, Grover.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
2, huh?
Well, I said 2.5.
Oh, okay.
The half one is the letter of the day is F, and you know what that's.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Oh shit! So bad. He's such a bad boy.
It's not really advice. It's more of a.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stands for Molly. What does it stand for?
Humper.
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's fine. That works.
Yeah. Go ask your parents about it. My name's Dan. I predicted a 5, and I'm sticking with it.
Nice. Hell yeah, brother.
It's not a perfect movie as far as movies go, but I think as like a monster movie, a B monster movie.
What's happening?
Do you just figure out?
Look at that! I can't stop.
Sorry.
We got it. Sorry.
It's good for you.
It's so good. It's so good as a monster movie. Like the formula and the monsters are cool. Everybody's charming. They're nice to the women scientists, like shockingly so. It exceeded my expectations, and I was surprised and delighted.
Nice.
So I'm sticking with 5. No, I also have to do it.
You don't have to.
No, it's fun. We're having fun.
I mean, we are.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Hey, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Bird. Go flush the toilet all burnt dirty or fill in the tub.
He's like,
to make the
yours
water
is like
run cold.
Macho Man. This rocks. Yes.
Oh yeah, Big Bird. Shave Snuffleupagus while he's asleep. Oh no. My cousin looks weird, all hairless.
He would. Ugh.
Oh yeah, Big Bird. Point out how few of you are wearing clothes to make the audience uncomfortable. Oh yeah, Big Bird. Ooh, educate Cookie Monster on the dangers of processed sugars to really harsh his mellow. And oh yeah.
He's got a break. He's got to take a break, folks. It's fine.
Big Bird. What are we doing for 5, Big Bird? Ooh, tell Grover that Elmo's just a more popular version of the same monster in a different color.
Oh, it's true though. It's true.
Too real.
Grover walked so Elmo could soar.
Yeah.
Aw.
Then tickle Grover.
Nobody's tickling Grover.
Oh wait, that's you. I got canceled.
Please tickle somebody. Tickle Grover. Come over and tickle Grover. Everybody tickle Grover.
Oh no! Wow, we cracked the case. We cracked the case.
Super Grover. Oh no, Super Grover's belly's out. Super Grover's cape fell open.
Hell yeah. That's rules. This is our best rating system yet.
Molly, you are the finale.
Yay!
You gave it, you were going to give it 3 points, and then you gave it a half a point for just having Reba in it.
Nice.
No bonus points for Grifficus.
Nope. Nobody respects.
As of yet, not in the
that's true.
prediction. We
Good.
don't know how
Good
the ratings shakes out.
Wow. So I enjoy this movie so much more than I thought. I'm pretty sure I have seen it.
Nice.
Or certainly parts of it.
It was definitely on TV
Definitely
a
on
lot.
TV, but I don't think I saw it when it first came out. I don't think this was anywhere on my radar as a sophomore in high school.
Sure.
It's just not my thing. Or junior. It doesn't matter. So that is why, but I really appreciate Grifficus. So normally I'd probably get a 4, but I'll give it a 4.5 out of appreciation.
Nice.
And also I did really appreciate the movie also for just being great. Like everybody really understood their job.
True.
Oh, and P.S. we forgot to mention that Mindy, the little girl, is the same little girl as in Jurassic Park.
Huge.
Yeah, she's a teen by then.
She's a pro at screaming at puppets.
Oh my gosh, her real name was Ariana Richards,
Okay.
and she's left behind acting and became an artist, a
Good for
painter.
her.
Cool.
Yeah,
Good for her.
but she is incredible at looking scared.
So good.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they booked her without an audition for
yeah.
Jurassic Park.
JP, they just saw the reel from Tremors. Like,
Yeah, great.
obviously.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best. Hey, hey, Big Bird, let's get on a skateboard and hang on to the bumper of Mr. Roper's car while he's driving.
Nice skitching.
Yeah, skitching. Get some skitching done. Hey, Big Bird, put a piece of Scotch tape on the bottom of a cat's back paw.
Oh.
I didn't say these were good. Okay.
Is that a thing?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
they
think
really
people
don't
do.
like it.
What?
Is that to make their foot kind of
Yeah,
like shake
flick at
like
the back,
crazy?
yeah.
Like it'd be harder than to get it off, right? Because they'd have to like try to
Yeah.
figure out which other foot to try to like.
Yeah, you
smish
can also
it.
put baby socks on them and they look real weird doing it.
No.
Anyway, sorry, we're distracting you.
Okay, sorry.
It's 2.
Hey, Big Bird, go make Ernie and Bert switch shirts.
Make them. Wow.
Diabolical.
Yeah, the implications there are disturbing.
Yeah.
Hey, Big Bird, tell Wormy you don't love him
Oh, Wormy. Forgot all about Wormy.
Me too. He's so cute.
anymore. Or just put tape on his back.
I might kill a worm.
Yeah.
Suffocated.
He should have tried tape.
On the big worm.
Yeah.
They should have just taped the worm. Oh,
Yeah.
idiots.
Tapeworm. It's in the name.
It's right there.
Think about it. That's 4, right?
That's 4.
Yeah.
I don't want to think of anything else terrible.
I mean, Beth's half was just the letter F.
Oh, half. And the number of the day. Oh, hey, Big Bird.
Nice.
The number of the day is 0.
Oh. Yeah.
Got him
Gosh,
big
why
time.
is mine so mean? Legitimately.
I mean, there were some others that were not great. Oh man, I cannot get like the storyteller in me cannot get over the like unspoken tale of make Burn Ernie switch shirts.
Yeah, it's basically like Big Bird doing a home invasion.
Right?
All right, you mother humpers. You better take those shirts off and switch around, or I'm going to start beating some Muppet ass. Yeah, Big Bird. Yeah, Big Bird.
Swap those shirts.
You're the big bird on
I'm going to go
campus
take
now.
an upper decker and
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Grifficus.
Thank you.
Thank you.